Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode of Founders Unfiltered. Today's interview is powered by Lead Minds Media, a one-stop solution for your product sales and advertisement. Find the link below in the description for more details. Let's begin with today's talk. On Founders Unfiltered, we talk to several entrepreneurs to tell us why they chose not to be stuck to regular 9 to 5, but they went ahead and did something different. They went ahead and they chased their passion. My guest today is Mr. Abhinav. Mr. Abhinav is a graduate of the world-renowned University of California, Davis. He has completed his PGDM from NMIMS University, Mumbai. He is the managing director at Accurex since 2004. Abhinav is an active member of Association of India Medical Devices as the joint coordinator and secretary for the Association for Diagnostic Manufacturers of India. Do share and subscribe to the channel to hear some more stories like this and to get some exciting business opportunities. Let's talk to Mr. Abhinav and find out his journey. Hello, Mr. Abhinav. Thank you for joining us today on Founders Unfiltered.
Thank you for this invitation.
Yes, sir. We would like to know your journey from scratch. So can you please tell us what motivated you to become an entrepreneur?
So my journey started when I was 22 years old and I was studying in my final year in the US. Okay. I was studying at University of California in Davis. And unfortunately, my father passed away at that time. And I had to leave everything and come back to India and look after the family business. So that's what got me here involved in the business at that time. And that's how I got back and got into the business.
Okay. All right, sir. So how did you manage your early days of entrepreneurship after so many difficulties you have faced?
Yes. So when I came into the business, I had no past experience of running a company. And also I didn't have anybody to guide me, right? So when you are, say, working in a job, right, you have a boss, you have somebody to help you to do your work. And that's where you gain experience and then go out and start your own business. In my case, I didn't have the experience, nor did I have anyone to guide me. So I had to learn on my own. And I found the best way to learn is from the experiences of others. I could have made mistakes and learn on my own, and those mistakes would have been very expensive. But the best way is to learn from the mistakes of others. And that's how I got a mentor, and a mentor really helped me to make the right decisions. And I learned a lot from books. I read a lot. So I think the best ways to learn is by meeting the right people and by reading the right books.
Definitely, sir. But you did everything without any support. This is really great and very inspiring for each one of us. So, sir, what would you like to say about sanitization and healthcare products as it is now a part of our daily living?
Yes. So coming to sanitization and healthcare products, the sanitization, I believe, is going to be a temporary phenomenon. It's as and when, the cases come down, it's a human tendency to, not go for preventive measures as much. As you must have seen, like the use of face mask also comes down as the wave comes down. Similar is for sanitization, right? As the wave comes down and the cases go down, sanitization use reduces. So it's not something very long term that's here to stay, but it will definitely be more than what was there before COVID.
Yeah, but I think face masks is something which will go on for very long now.
Yes, it will go on for long. Yes, but it won't go on in the way it was going on right now. So if you go around on the markets and the streets, there are a lot of people not wearing face masks.
Yeah.
So it'll definitely be there as what was compared to what was before the pandemic, but it might not be there like how we expected. Like everybody will be using 3-ply or N95, or everybody will be carrying a sanitizer.
Yeah, definitely. Agreed, sir. So you have some quality biochemistry reagents, laboratory instruments. So can you guide our audience what all products you deal in?
Right. So we are a diagnostic reagent manufacturing company. Okay, so I'll explain to you so that the audience will understand in a very layman way. So when you get sick, you go to a doctor, and the doctor will tell you that, okay, you go to a lab, get your blood test done, and then you come back to me and I will treat you. So we supply to the laboratories, the pathology labs, and we supply them the reagents. The reagents are like chemicals which are used on the pathology machines and which are mixed with your blood, and then they give you a report. So we manufacture the reagents, and the instruments, we get them contract manufactured in our brand, and we sell it with our reagents to the pathology labs who are our customers.
Okay.
In the pathology lab testing, there are different types of testing. Like recently, you all must have heard of RT-PCR, COVID
Yeah.
antigen test, right? So we are in the biochemistry, hematology, electrolyte segment of the testing, right? Which is more of your lipid profile, your liver profile, your kidney function test, the hematology, complete blood count, the electrolyte, sodium, potassium testing. We are in that segment. We're not in the infectious disease segment, which covers COVID-19.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, your sanitizers or all other products which you deal in are WHO recommended, or any certification you have done for them?
Yes. So we are following the ISO 13485 certification, which is required for medical devices. And for the sanitizers, we are following the WHO recommended formulation, which is a higher percentage of the alcohol in the sanitizers. So that helps in providing more protection.
Okay, all right. So now, sir, you are basically looking for distributorship of those products.
Yes.
Okay, so sir, let's say now I am interested for your products to become a distributor. What is the average margin I can earn, and what is minimum or maximum investment required for the same?
Okay. So we have presence all across India. So anyone who's interested in becoming a distributor for us, we are in any part of the country, it's possible. And we supply our products to the distributor currently also. So we are supplying to the distributor is supplying to the customers, which are pathology labs. The
Okay.
distributor can earn up to 18% of margin. We give the distributor 18% margin, and then the distributor can decide to keep the margin or to discount if they want to discount a little bit more, or they can completely keep the 18% margin. So I would say up to 18% is what a distributor can earn.
18%.
Right.
All right, all right. Okay. So, sir, any specific area that has a high demand for your products?
So a high demand in terms of, you mean area in terms of geographical area or product area?
In terms of both, actually, geographical as well as product.
Okay. So geographical, I would say all across India, there's a high demand right now, so especially because of COVID. There's a demand for testing, right? And that testing, not only COVID, but there's also demand for complete blood count testing. That is the hematology testing.
Yeah.
There's a demand for other parameters like your CRP, LDH, D-dimer, ferritin, which are related to COVID. They don't help in telling you if you have COVID, but they help you in management of COVID, of your disease. So these products demand is high. There are now people are interested in the pathology lab business. So you must have heard of the big deal that has happened with Farm Easy and Accurex recently, right? So that's just a big deal that shows the interest coming in, and then there'll be other investors also who will be coming in. So recently, Lupin, a pharmaceutical company, also entered into the diagnostic industry. So there will be new labs opening up, and as these new labs open up, there will be opportunity for distributors who want to supply in these markets.
Okay. All right. So, sir, as looking at your journey, can you tell our audience something about what will be your greatest success stories until now?
So I think my greatest success story, if I look back, will be that I took over the business at the age of 22 with no experience, absolutely, and I didn't have like anyone to tell me what to do. I had to learn on my own through meeting different types of people, learning from them, and getting a mentor from reading the books on business management, and that's what helped me to move ahead. So I think that's going to be one of my biggest success stories in my life, even many years later, of how I was able to do that. And after that, my success story, I would be say is I increased the company size from 70 employees, and when I started the company in 2004, when I started working in the company in 2004,
Yeah.
and today we are at 190 employees, and I grew the sales, the revenue of the company 4.2 times.
This is really great. This is really great. So how has this venture changed you?
This venture has changed me in, I would say, in every aspect, because you can't say that work is separate and your personal life is separate. It does affect both. It's like a bird. It has
Yeah.
two wings to fly. A bird cannot fly with only one wing. So I would say it has made me more patient, and because you get to solve problems, and some of the problems don't get solved very fast. So you develop patience where you try to look for a solution. It has made me look at is solution oriented, right? So
Yeah.
business is all about solving problems. So whenever I look at a problem, I see like, okay, how can I go ahead and solve this problem? It's made me more a better communicator, right? Because at leadership level, you have to communicate a lot,
Yeah.
and it's all about communicating. So I think I've become a better communicator because of the work I'm doing.
Those are the really great skills you got. So would you like to share the experience of barriers or obstacles you faced before getting into this entrepreneurial journey and thereafter?
So the barriers I faced was when at 22, when I entered the
Yeah.
business, right? So there were people who did not believe in me, and I wouldn't be surprised, right? So even if today, if I have to look at someone who's 22 and they're just starting off the business, even I will be in a dilemma, right? Will this person really succeed, or it's too early and they have to go through a learning curve? So there were a lot of people who didn't believe that I would be able to run a company, an established company, not a startup, right? At a young age, and that's an obstacle that I had to overcome, and it took time, right? So I had to get people who believed that yes, it was possible and it will move ahead. So that was an obstacle in finding the right people who believed in it and to
Yeah.
move ahead. So I think that was the obstacle, and then the everyday obstacle, right? Like running a business is like running a marathon, right? You have to uh, keep going, even though there will be obstacles in your way. You will be low on energy, you'll be low in finance, you'll be low in a lot of resources which are there to run a business.
Yeah.
And those are like the day-to-day challenges that keep coming up.
Definitely, you get unexpected challenges in business or an entrepreneurial journey. I understand. So, what you were be doing if not in the pharma sector about your other hobbies?
So this is something I've never thought of, and because I've been in the pharma sector for now 15 years, and after being in this sector for so long, there's nothing else you can think of, right? It's like a specialist. Like it's like, say, for example, Sachin Tendulkar has become really good at playing cricket. Okay,
Yeah.
that's his passion, and he follows that. And if you ask him that, what else, what other sport would you play? He would not be able to, or it would not be justice for him to get into another sport. So in the same way, I think even in professional life, it's all about becoming a domain expert or gaining experience in a particular industry, because nowadays everything is so specialized. So
Definitely.
I feel that I wouldn't look at getting out of this industry, because all my contacts that I've made, my network that I've built, my knowledge that I have increased in this industry would go waste. So I don't think at this point of time I would think it's a wise decision to get out of this industry. And even for anybody, once you build a certain expertise, it doesn't make sense to get into something else. So even say sportsmen, right? They play a certain sport, it doesn't make sense for them to go anywhere else. For example, look at doctors. If you're a neurosurgeon, right, it doesn't make sense for you to go into another specialty, right? Because
Definitely.
it's specialty, that's what matters nowadays.
Yes, so. So, what will you recommend a person to take care of the health in the current scenario?
In the current scenario, there is the basic thing that you can do is like wear the mask,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And wash your hands frequently, use sanitizer if washing of hands is not possible. Okay, well, I think the most important thing is vaccination, right? And there are still many people who I meet who are not ready to go in for vaccination, which is really surprising, right? We all know that how important it is. And if you have taken vaccination, I would encourage you to ask those people who are around you to also take vaccination, right? Because that's the only way that we can really reach a certain level of herd immunity, and that's when the number of cases will come down and be negligible and will be more regional cases. So I think vaccination is something which needs to be driven. I'm really surprised at how many people still believe that vaccination is not important. So as good citizens out there, just encourage everybody you know in your circle. It could be anyone who works in your house or who works with you or your friends or your family.
Yeah.
Encourage everybody to go for vaccination.
Yes, sir, definitely. This message was really needed to the audience at this time. Yeah. So, sir, what were the challenges you faced while setting up the entire business?
The challenges I faced, as I said, was that I came into an established running business at the age of 22.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the business did not believe that I would be running this company at the age of 22. A lot of people left the business because they didn't believe that I would be able to continue. And there's nothing wrong in that because they had to also think about their livelihood, their families depending on them. And if they thought that it was too risky for them to take a risk, that's absolutely justified. So that was the challenge on how do I run a business that if people don't believe my capabilities, that I will be able to run it. And I just kept going on it, and I kept thinking that there's no other option, right? And when you think there's no other option, this is what you have to do. Somehow you find a way out and you do it.
Yes, sir, definitely. So, lastly, any words of wisdom for our upcoming entrepreneurs here?
For the upcoming entrepreneurs, I would say just from my own experience, I would like to share there are two things that can change your life. And the two things are the people you meet. The people you meet can be having a big influence on your life. They
Yeah.
can motivate you, they can inspire you to move ahead, to get out of your comfort zone. And the second thing is the books you read. There's so much knowledge out there. Right? Don't make the mistakes on your own. Right? Experience is the best teacher, but she has very expensive bills. So learn from other people's mistakes. And there are people in every domain, be it sales, be it marketing, be it manufacturing, be it service. There are
Yeah.
these experts who are ready to give you all the knowledge from all the mistakes they have made and give you the best solutions. So that's a way that can be a catalyst for you to grow your business faster
Yeah.
and can accelerate your business. If you learn from the other people you meet, and there are many people who you cannot meet, so you learn from reading the books that they have written, learning. And these two things can really help you to get ideas and help you to execute and move ahead.
Definitely. This was really inspiring for our audience, sir. Thank you, Mr. Thakur, for joining us today on Founders Unfiltered. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I found some interesting inputs as well. So, we are putting the contact details of Mr. Abhinav in the description in case you are interested to become a distributor of their products. We wish you a very best of luck for your future journey. Keep flying. This is all for now. Please do check out the description for more details about today's session. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for some more exciting stories like this. This is Achal Sharma signing off. Thank you so much for joining, sir.
Thank you.